is I. Vous is you. We're learning how to speak French. De rien.
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 De rien literally means it's nothing, but it is the equivalent of you are welcome.
À bientôt. Salut. Pardon? Pardon? Where are the toilets? You know I'm gonna need that one. Où sont la toilette? Playing some cards by myself here. Oddly, maybe more satisfying than playing up against someone. No, I take that back. We're gonna do one more round, except I'm gonna try to time myself and see how fast I can do this. Not me putting back on the pressure. You're also not supposed to face your piles upwards throughout the game until you finish a pile. Once you do have a grouping of 4, you can like put it aside and then face it up, just because it makes it harder to memorize where things are. 18 seconds. Not as good as I thought it was gonna be, but this is weird. I won't even lie. I've never played cards by myself. I don't know. I feel like if you just came in my room and you saw me playing cards, you'd be like, what is she doing? As you guys saw, we went to Barnes earlier and we picked up 2 books. We have The Friend Zone by Abby Jimenez. Love Just for the Summer. So I'm excited to see what this book might hold. Really excited to read this Firefly Lane book. I'm interested to see if I will like it because it is historical fiction. I was mainly persuaded by Sarah Caroli, who read this book and was sobbing. I don't know if it's because I'm gonna start my period, but I want a sad book to read. For right now, I'm actually going to write my quotes in my quote diary. Guys, start a quote diary. This is also one of the things you can do by yourself, and I feel like it's just so personal to you. Basta ter carinho e compreensão. Oh, I like this one. Enjoy moments before they become memories. I'm gonna be going on a trip very soon. Nearly a month-long trip to Europe. We'll be in Paris for the first 4 days, and then we'll be going on a cruise for a big part of that. I'm so excited, but like I haven't let that excitement feeling sink in. I've had some trips where I don't even think about the trip all the way up to the day I leave. There's just like no anticipation, and it makes the moment that I get there feel unreal and almost like I'm not living in the moment because I'm still thinking about where I just was. So this quote really stood out to me because not only do I want to start enjoying this excitement, but I also want to enjoy the moments there when I get there. Of course I will film, but I don't know, there are just some things that don't always need to be filmed, and if something isn't captured, that's okay. Since we're going to Paris, who else is there to watch?
I have always wanted to live in Paris. Actually, one of my earliest memories, and hopefully my only memory from my first trip is Paris because I don't get freaked out by them being shaped. I go last year before, I guess, being a kid.
This does not eat.
Yeah, you got me begging, begging, baby, please don't go.
We're actually gonna head off to Target in a bit because we're watching a movie by myself. I'm taking this whole experience to a whole nother level. There are things like doing things alone that you can do at your house or, you know, a few miles away, but watching a movie by yourself, I've actually never done. I did watch a movie away from my friends by myself when my friend was on a date and I just tagged along, and hey, I enjoyed the experience. I'm not afraid to do this. I'm just more like, wow, I'm kind of excited actually. And I really want this video to honestly encourage you guys to not be afraid to do things alone, even if it doesn't seem normal to do certain things like watching movies. I used to eat these probably 2 to 3 times a week back in high school. I could go with the much more healthier option, which would be Sun Chips, but this chip aisle is ran through. Oh my gosh, Big Tot Cheetos are so good too, but they don't have them either. They don't have any of the chips that I want actually. Oh, I see it. I'm gonna get these instead. A little healthier alternative. But Takis are so good, like, dude. I'm telling myself not to because I could finish this whole bag in one sitting. Oh yeah. Okay, don't ask. It's apple cinnamon or apple strawberry. Kids watching this, like, it's questionable. I feel like the awkward thing about walking alone, you're always getting that awkward eye contact with someone else who is alone, and it's not just like a glimpse, you know, it's always, you can tell they're wanting to hold eye contact. And the thing is, this usually comes from older men. It always kind of makes me feel a little bit weary. I know nothing's gonna happen, you know, I'm in an open space with a lot of people around, but it does make you feel a little bit conscious being a woman, you know. Unfortunately, I'm not a butter popcorn gal, I'm a kettle corn. Yes, I'm making my own popcorn and taking it to the movie theaters. 2 minutes. Just gonna pack my lunch. Yeah! Popcorn is doing its thing. Wow. It just smells even better. You think they'll know I brought my own popcorn in? Lollipop? Chips, but we're watching Inside Out. So basically this is gonna be rough. I'm a week away from my period, which means this is when I'm at my most vulnerable state emotionally. Yet I'm in for a good cry. Like, I want to cry. That's why I'm gonna watch this movie. I am one who likes to cry alone. So you would think that with this movie I'd want to be comforted, but I don't mind just sitting there crying by myself. It's okay. I'm also just really scared that they're gonna be like, I can smell your bag of popcorn, and they're just not gonna let me in, which I don't think they care that much, you know? Bro, why is there so many people at the theater? Bro, everyone's gonna be coupled up or with their family. Butter popcorn smells so good. All right, are we going the right way? Okay, yeah. Yeah, we are. Guys, I kind of forgot what theater he said already. I was like not even paying attention because I was so nervous. Well, it was theater number 1, right? For Inside Out?
For 8:45?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Growing up, the middle child left me on the spectrum of being neither the extrovert or the introvert. I was used to having people around, which added to my extrovertedness, but also was left to navigate the world on my own at times, which gave me the sense of independency I would need to become my own best friend later in life. As you grow older, or perhaps even now with the way our company has become strangers over a screen, we are frequently left on our own. Whether it is friends parting ways, kids leaving the house, we may always feel uncomfortable with the silence. Yet life has so much more to offer when you
start to become your own best friend. You will have endless choices to make, places to go, and no regrets left behind. There might always be things we wish we did, but never felt like we could do them alone. Don't leave those wishes behind. Start making them happen today. Take it from me, life becomes a whole different experience when you take that first step to do it on your own.
Don't let your fears get in the way of exploring new places, discovering things that you like. And something you get when doing things alone that you can't really get with company is full say in every single decision. You don't have to make decisions based on what everyone else wants to do, but it is solely your choice. Kind of means you've lived with no regrets. I brought some bread, guys. I don't know if it's a smart idea to try to feed the ducks here. I feel like that would be really nice, you know? But then again, that could attract many ducks and in a situation that I probably could not handle. Hey. No. Oh, he's running off with it? I'm scared. I don't think they're gonna leave me alone.
Ducky! Hey, Ducky, eat the bread.
Side note, we're actually about to have a real ass conversation because I'm struggling to formulate words about what I want to say, and I have a really tough time speaking. You obviously don't see it on camera because I cut out those things. In conversations with people, I would always just reach this like mental block, or like it would go blank in my brain and I would just literally stop talking. And I'd be like telling a story or something, and then person would just be like, is that the end of the story? And I'm like, oh no, yeah, I totally like just blanked out and didn't even know that I stopped talking. And sometimes it feels so okay, don't get emotional. Sometimes I feel really like I'm stupid, or I am just also like unable to do this job of YouTube because I am not that type of person who can just talk to the camera without having such a difficult time. I literally will restart my sentence, 10 different times. No, just as a person who's in front of the camera and needs to talk to a camera, I feel like I'm just not mentally meant for this. Okay, that was completely off the topic of doing things alone, by the way. I just thought I would open up right there. I particularly like to do things alone out in nature, because I think there's so much more focus on just yourself and not technology. You wouldn't be out with a beautiful view being like, oh, I'm just gonna be scrolling on TikTok. I feel like when you have such a beautiful view, that's all you kind of want to admire, really take in. And I always like to come to watch a sunset or go to like a little park. Love greenery in general. It doesn't need to be anything special, but just some form of trees. And there's like a little lake here, obviously. So I really enjoy it, and it's one of my favorite things to do alone, though of course it can be uncomfortable sometimes. In that, I do recommend going to parks that are local and going to places you already know very well. I love starting off with eating places that I already kind of know the staff or the people there, and like, know that they're just friendly and nice. All of my friends have my location, my parents do, and I think that kind of helps safety-wise. A lot of the times, I think if you are in a place where there are a lot of other people, it can definitely help you feel safer. Most of the times you are going to be okay because there's always going to be people around to also kind of look out for you. I know that if I saw another person that's by themselves, especially, a girly, I would definitely look out for them as well. I also think I have come to the conclusion that I am neither fully an extrovert or an introvert. I used to think I was one or the other, and now I've just come to this place where I don't think I'm either, and I really don't even know what I am or who I am. A little seriously about that, but what I think the case is with me is I do get a lot of energy from being around people, and I can find a lot of motivation, can fuel up my energy, but it can also drain my energy if I'm around them too long, which I feel like is every person. But if I'm by myself, for example, say I start the entire day isolated and then I go to like hang out with someone socially, I just feel super awkward and like unable to hold a conversation, or literally as if like I have brain fog or something, and I just don't feel myself. The thing is, when I do feel and able to keep up with someone else's energy, I get really in my head about it, and then it just enhances all of that awkwardness. Because I do get in my head a lot, it's why I enjoy spending time by myself, because that never happens. You're by yourself, you don't think about other things, you literally just, my mind is actually blank when I'm by myself, and I don't know if that's good or bad, but in a way it's just very peaceful. I don't have to overthink or worry that I'm ever doing anything wrong. And honestly, how I got to this point where I like fully am able to just eat a meal by myself, shopping was my first love. Because I enjoy doing it so much, I actually liked doing it on my own more than anything. Not exactly the healthiest hobby in that it allowed me to also explore other things. So if I was shopping, maybe I wanted to grab some food. So I would grab food and sit there for a little bit, eat by myself. Or maybe I wanted to go to a cafe after, and then I would just do that. Like, you start to get a comfortability for doing other things by yourself. Like, you're kind of creating this palette of things that you feel comfortable doing. It is so important to find things that you genuinely love doing, can do without the company of others, and that is why hobbies are so important. Like, a lot of times we don't want to go somewhere by ourselves or to like a cafe because we know we're just going to feel really bored and have nothing to do. But if you fill up your time with things that you personally enjoy doing, it feels like a whole different experience. And I also think hobbies are just what cure the boredom, especially if you're spending a lot of time at home alone. I personally love books. They're great distraction and escapism. I used to really be into crocheting, but I've kind of taken a break from that. But I feel like just learning that skill made me feel really proud of myself, first of all, because I hadn't learned a skill in a long time. But also it just filled up my time with something to do. It was fun and it was enjoyable. Playing cards by yourself, as you guys saw earlier, not gonna lie, that shit runs your brain. If you're going into school and you're like, bro, I feel like I haven't learned in so long, my brain has not been like working, play some cards by yourself and you will see how that just gets your brain working again. Spending time by yourself is one of the most loving things that you can do. There will be many points in our lives where we will be forced to spend time alone, and if we don't enjoy our own company, we are just setting ourselves up for loneliness and kind of like suffering. That's not like to make it sound so dramatic, but genuinely, if we love spending time with ourselves, we can just do anything in life. You have an abundance of choices you can make for yourself. You'll just love spending time with yourself so much that you're always so willing to go out and like adventure the world, even if it is by yourself. Last little thing I want to share with anyone who is feeling a little lonely this summer or is spending a lot more time alone than they would have expected, know that you can become your own best friend, and with time you will slowly realize that your own company is literally your favorite company. There's a grandma right now just listening to music, vibing, straight vibing. She's a prime example of why spending time alone is so important. Once you take that first step of doing something alone, even if you're scared and if it seems daunting, trust me, it will become so much easier after that first time. After that, every time after will just seem easier. It will seem more enjoyable, and it might even seem like something you would rather much do. And you'll realize it's really okay to be lonely or doing things alone, and you'll also start to appreciate the moments you have with other people as well. You'll really value that time. Don't be ashamed either, and don't feel bad for yourself, because it is a beauty to be able to do things alone. That is the end of today's video. Thank you guys so much for being here and watching. I will see you guys in the next video. Until next time, hugs and kisses. Bye guys.